You are probably very confused about what game we are playing today. It only sold 2 million copies in less than 2 weeks, and it has been on the Steam top sellers chart almost since it launched. But if you actually didn't hear about this game, let me introduce it to you in a few words. Shoot, loot, extract, build, craft, level up, and the most important, bugs. I think I have said enough, so let's dive into this video where I try my best to play Escape from Duckov with the least googling and research as possible. I pressed play and chose the balanced difficulty. It's okay, go ahead, call me a coward in the comments, but I like to enjoy my games in a not so over hostile environment, or at least not always. But more importantly, we were greeted with the story. We missed the evacuation of this collapsing egg planet, and now we have to suffer the consequences. I hope we won't meet Dr. Eggman though. But all of this doesn't matter as we got a dog. Anyway, after a lot of consideration, I managed to create the hero of our story, Pee-Pee. Not Pee-Pee, it's Pee-Pee. I forgot to scan this area for hidden stuff, but I will get back to it sooner or later. So a stranger started to talk to us about how he has been watching us for days, just like any good tech company CEO would do. He needs a partner, but first we had to prove that we are up for the task. So we looted a carrot. Sorry, this is what we actually need to loot. I just love how it has a pistol with ammo to shoot the bad guys, a bandage for covering up our injuries that we got in the fight, and also
cocoa milk.
After stacking up, I had my first encounter, which surprisingly was not so horrible. I stole his clothes, including his glasses, because they were cool, but coolness has a minus 25% visual range price, which I failed to notice for a much longer time than it should have taken. Anyway, after more looting and shooting, I finally managed to extract and complete this literal tutorial prison. Then I found myself in my base, which was pretty huge and vacant, as you can see. And there was this timer in the corner reading next storm arrives in 135 minutes, which to be honest didn't sound so good. But let's see what we can do in the 2 hours before it happens. We finally met the stranger we talked to before, and his name is Jeff. Now, I could have been referencing an over 10-year-old meme, but I didn't do it. Be proud of me because it took a lot of willpower. Anyway, he introduced us to our warehouse where we can store our loot in safety, our construction panel where we are able to build facilities, the overpriced vending machine to sell or buy some items, and finally the enhancer, which is basically a place where we can upgrade our skills or stats. He gave us a few quests and I instantly got to work, starting with building the workbench. Or I mean collecting wood for the workbench. But before I actually left the bunker, I checked the other rooms of our place. We have a shooting ground to practice and we have a room where we are building our spaceship to escape this not so kind planet. I also went down to the sewers where I found a boat bird who could take me to Farm Town, which I am afraid is not a cheap place to do agriculture. And I also found a fishing note, which implies that there is fishing in this game, so at least there is still hope that the farm town will be a real farm town. We can also make some offerings to a bird god, I guess. We will get back to it later. Anyway, it was time for us to head out to the field. Before we do anything, it is important to know that we have 2 ways to leave the map. We can go back to the bunker here, or we can go to the north of the map where there is green gas indicating the extraction point. Okay, now that we got this sorted out, we can begin our objectives. Finding 1 wood, killing 1 enemy, and extracting. However, the moment I started looting, I realized my first big mistake. I totally forgot to make space in my inventory, so I headed back to the base, which actually made one of the objectives completed. So we can say that this was actually very tactical of me. Once I freed up some space, I instantly headed back to work. And as you can see, I was totally making progress, as I accidentally put a box on myself and couldn't get it off. But I could still loot, so it was kind of okay. I thought that this box was meant to make me kind of invisible, but this dog, full of the Halloween spirit as you can see, attacked me, but I managed to solve this problem in an instant and also completed our first quest at the same time. What was scarier is that another bird shot me while I was was at half HP, but thanks to my skills and mainly my luck, I managed to get rid of it while staying in one piece. And I also stole the dog's pumpkin head, which is kind of cool. Then I found my first data box with a juicy crafting recipe inside. I also met a mysterious merchant who is probably committing tax fraud as he only accepts cash, but at least it seems that he sells better and cheaper goods than the vending machine at my base. Continuing my journey, I looted and shooted and managed to get myself a tank helmet, which seemed not as cool as the pumpkin but more useful for sure, and also very good for my level. Also honorable mentions are the AK-74U and the cosmetic pouch, which let me carry even more junk, like this toilet cleaner and this dye. In a nearby camp, a shiny blue box was hiding a homemade shotgun blueprint, while another blue box was hiding something more valuable. So after reaching these heights, I decided that it was time to go home and made my first ever real extraction. By the way, if you like this video so far, please consider subscribing. Thank you. I immediately went to complete my quest just to get another one, namely killing rampaging scavengers. It might be harder for me to read the quest than to actually complete it. So again, killing rampaging scavengers and confiscating their butcher knives. Talking about quests, I also managed to set up the workbench, which doesn't have quite a big selection yet, only the essentials. But we could research those 2 blueprints that we collected. By the way, completing the workbench also resulted in another 3 quests, but we'll talk about them later. First, it was time to enhance our skills with the cold core fragments that we stole from the ducks we cooked. As I killed quite a few of them, I managed to improve my backpack capacity, HP, and field of view, but couldn't do anything more than that as the rest were level locked. After I got my skills up, I almost left the base when something caught my eye in the vending machine. A secret message. Let me tell ya, items in the vending machine are ridiculously expensive. The selling prices are several times higher, and the buyback price is only half of the original price. What a ripoff. Okay, I will buy this because I think it will probably unlock an achievement. It didn't do anything, so let me just sell it back. Okay, I get it now. After all of this was done, it was time to get out into the wild again. But the game warned me that this is not a clever idea from a noob like me, so I went to sleep through the night. So today's objectives are killing rampaging scavengers, using bandages, fixing a tower with a screwdriver, and finding a letter from a friend. Let's go! Wow, have you seen this? This shotgun is amazing. Or maybe I am amazing. Wow, they are so fast. But first scavenger dead. PM blueprint, red lantern, and safe house compartment key. Nice. We need to find a way to open this from the other side to be able to travel faster in the future, I guess. Boom bada boom. Those 66 blueprint. Normally I wouldn't be happy that PP got shot, but now I can finally complete the bandage quest. And look at that, it kinda looks like a Fessera point, and it really is. I had a slight feeling that it would bring me here, but I don't want to extract, so let's go back. What, this dog was waiting for us to get back? What a loyal good boy. Okay, I have been out for quite some time now, and I have been able to only complete one quest, so it is time to lock in. We need to kill those rampaging scavengers. But first, here you can see when I realized that these glasses are not for my good. Anyway, let's go look for some scavengers. One down. I can't go through the woods. Okay, I actually deserve that. Okay, let's try to sprint back and hope that my loot is not all gone. After almost dying several times, I managed to thankfully get back all of my loot. Although it was a bit weird that I felt like I was doing better barely naked than with, so to say, a proper equipment. Anyway, it was time to get back to our bunker as I could. It's almost dark, spiders are coming out to hunt. I didn't want to end up like Frodo, so I started to sprint, but there was a bigger problem that I failed to realize in time. I needed to take proper care of my hunger and hydration. I got to the point where I couldn't walk properly and I was constantly getting minus HP. I tried to take a shorter route and also tried to loot everything in the hopes of getting some food, as my first 8 packs were not meant to last forever. It felt like an eternity, but luckily the duck gods blessed me with a cake and a water bottle, so I got to live another day. This gave me the courage to take the longer route and try to extract at the top of the map. I was excited to see some spiders, but met none and managed to leave before they got excited about me too. Fortunately, I was able to complete a few quests, unlock more backpack slots, improve my gun damage multiplier, and I collected enough feathers from the dead birdies to try out the offering circle. Jajan! I got a nice totem for myself. Marathon 1. Okay, it's not the best totem in the game, as it only slightly reduces stamina cost, but better than nothing, I guess. To be honest, I think that I had a pretty nice first 2 days of this game. As I have played another like 15 hours since this recording, I realized a lot of my mistakes, and even after all of my gameplay hours, I still have a long way to go with this game. Do you have any tips that you would like to share with me and the other players? Feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you would love to see more Escape from Duckov, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like or a comment on this video, as I don't want to post about stuff that nobody would want to watch. But I have a lot more footage of this game, so if you're up, I can post a Duckov series on my channel. Anyway, I thank you so much for watching this video, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye!